from some positives to certain negatives that we saw this year. Biggest headache of the year. And we have some great contenders for this one. We had this entire saga about our left back position. We barely played with a natural left back. So that was one nomination. Then in the entire last season, we saw that unique style of high press and low block, which left these humongous gaps in the midfield. We saw those. Then it was about lack of goals. We expected Rashford, Hoyland to sort of come good and probably Bruno and some of the others to contribute. They didn't do much. And then obviously the manager conundrum, where 17-day review period, given another year, and after that, within 2 months, sacked after that. So these were the biggest headaches for us. But yeah, if we had to choose one, let's talk about these and see which one is that the biggest headache was.
Recency bias kicks in for me. Midfield one, I think we'll be able to solve with this new system Amarim has brought. The
Hmm.
lack of goals, again, time and again, Hoyland has the knack of pulling the fans back in with his great, neat finishes. He has a good
Yeah,
hold-up play as well. And we have had Garnacho also perform in patches. Amad Diallo is a good addition. So lack of goals is something again. But this left back spot has been a constant headache. The reason, I mean, it has been so baffling that we have had such a bad planning around this position.
yeah,
We had Alvaro Fernandez, we let him go.
correct.
We had Sergio Regulon, who was performing decently. We let him go half the season when we didn't have a finish. Luke
Because the medical team told Eric Ten Hag, "No, don't worry, don't worry. Malaysia will be back in a month. Luke Shaw will be back in a couple of weeks. 2-3 games you play with Dalot at left back or Lindelof, and then these guys will be back." And we didn't have one till end of the season.
Luke Shaw doesn't play the whole year, goes to the Euros, doesn't play, comes back injured,
And
starts a couple of games.
Ratcliffe had one demand of him before the final of
Don't
the
do your hamstring.
when this guy although navigates around that match, but come start of the season for us, he's again unavailable.
Yeah, comes back, starts a couple of games, unavailable. I mean, such a bad luck of form we have had for her. Malaysia has come back in, but isn't up to touch. And again, we have now gotten accustomed to seeing Dalo or Mazarawi at that position, and as good as Mazarao is, I don't think a natural left back is someone we have at the club right now. It's a headache position. It has been a headache position all year, and it spoils the balance of midfield. It spoils the balance of
Correct.
chance creation, and has a pile down effect on how we create the final chances. So yeah, that one has been the most irritating one for me.
I would agree. The close second is obviously this entire manager circus that we have had. Uh, right before big games, all this news about the manager being sacked, then multiple times at the start of the season, whether it was uh, the game against Aston Villa before the international break, which probably was a make or break game. We managed a nil-nil draw there. Eric Ten Hag got a little more time, and then out of nowhere after the West Ham game, where the first half against West Ham was probably the best that we have played in some time. Although
Mm,
thanks to Dalo and a few others, we weren't able to get a goal in, and that led to his sacking. And within I don't know, within a couple of days, Amorim was uh,
yeah.
already being discussed, and there was discussion of how his notice period is going to be served at Sporting and all of that. So yeah, I think that has been another headache for us. Hopefully, going by previous records, for another 2 seasons, given 2.5 is the average tenure of a manager. For the next 2 seasons, we don't have the manager conundrum, but yeah, we need to just sort out a few things and get this squad back on track.